Hello to all our magical listeners. We are Marie and Kate. Together, we love to chat about mindful magic. Mindful magic is intentionally, mindfully traveling through each day, each task, every little mundane thing you need to do with a magical mindset. Let's get magical and start this episode.
Hello, magic makers, and welcome back to Mindful Magic. I'm Kate.
And I'm Marie.
Today, we're talking about someone who completely changed the way many people think about consciousness, intuition, past lives, and the mysteries of reality itself. We are talking about Dolores Cannon. And if Edgar Casey was our magician, I can't think of anyone who embodies High Priestess energy more than Dolores Cannon.
Exactly. She spent decades exploring hidden knowledge, the subconscious mind, soul memories, and all those questions humanity has been asking forever. Who are we? Why are we here? Why do some experiences feel familiar? And is there more to us than this one lifetime?
Right. And the thing I love about Dolores is that she wasn't trying to become this huge spiritual teacher. She wasn't searching for fame or trying to start a movement. She was curious. She simply followed where the experiences led her. And I think curiosity is one of the purest forms of high priestess energy.
Absolutely. Dolores was born in 1931. She was a military wife and mother and lived what most people would consider a pretty ordinary life. Then she and her husband started practicing hypnosis. At first, it was fairly traditional, relaxation, habits, things like that. Then one day, everything changed. A client unexpectedly began describing another lifetime.
Can you imagine being in the room for that? Like, people weren't openly discussing past life regression back then. I mean, this was a long time ago. Today, you can pull up videos online all day long, but back then, you couldn't.
Yeah, not so much. But instead of dismissing it, Dolores got curious. She asked more questions, and one question led to another, and eventually it became her life's work.
Which
So
bring,
we're gonna,
yeah,
oh no, go ahead.
we're going to talk about QHHT. Sorry, Marie.
Mm.
So, QHHT is Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique. And I feel like people hear hypnosis and immediately picture stage hypnosis or someone clucking like a chicken. And that is not this.
Right, not even close. QHHT guides someone into an extremely deep state of relaxation that Dolores called the somnambulistic state. The conscious mind becomes quieter, and people often begin accessing memories, symbols, emotions, experiences, and insights that don't usually sit at the surface.
Yeah. And this is where it gets fascinating because the practitioner isn't telling the person what to think, they're asking questions and allowing the experience to unfold naturally.
Exactly. Then there's what Dolores called the subconscious. Some people might call it the higher self, and others might say divine intelligence, spirit, or inner knowing, but everybody has a different language for it. According to Dolores, this deeper part of ourselves could answer questions about relationships, life purpose, patterns, fears, physical symptoms, why certain people keep showing up in our lives, and even why certain experiences keep repeating themselves.
Yeah. And whether someone sees that as spiritual, symbolic, psychological, or something else entirely, people often let these sessions, they left these sessions saying the same thing like, I understand myself better. I feel lighter. I finally have peace. I remembered something. And I think that's beautiful because healing doesn't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it's healing, it's simply understanding yourself differently.
Right. And one of the things that Dolores talked about a lot was the idea that unresolved experiences from other lifetimes can sometimes echo into this one. Again, these are her teachings and personal accounts from sessions, not established science, but the stories are incredibly fascinating.
Yeah. For example, people with intense fears of water sometimes recalled experiences of drowning. People terrified of fire sometimes describe dying in fires. Some people with claustrophobia recall being trapped, buried, or imprisoned. There were stories involving fears of heights, choking, crowds, and even specific places.
She also documented people who connected unexplained physical sensations to experience they remembered during regression, like birthmarks they had, areas of chronic pain, sometimes sensations around their neck or chest, even unexplained scars. And again, these are personal reports from recessions, but they're certainly thought provoking, right?
Yeah, and even hoarding, right? I remember reading examples where people believe they'd experience severe poverty, famine, or war in another lifetime. And in this life, they struggle to let go of things because there was this deep feeling that resources might disappear. And honestly, even if someone doesn't interpret these stories literally, I still think they're meaningful. Like sometimes asking ourselves, why does this fear feel so ancient? Like you can't describe it or really pinpoint where it came from. This can be incredibly healing.
Right. And one thing Dolores talked about often was reoccurring dreams.
Yes. And if you ask me, one of the best places to begin exploring your own past lives is through your dreams, especially reoccurring dreams, dreams that have happened over and over, dreams where you're in another place, another time period, speaking another language, and dreams where you die, dreams where you're running from something, dreams that feel like memories more than dreams, like you've been there before. I've had dreams like that where I woke up and thought that felt real. Like I felt like I had been there multiple times before.
Right, same here. And sometimes those emotions stay with you all day long. And whether they're symbolic, spiritual, or something else entirely, recurring dreams usually have something important to say.
Yeah. And we wanted to talk a little bit about the books too. The Convoluted Universe series changed my life and my perspective. Those books made me think about consciousness and reality in ways I never had before. And another one that deeply affected me was The Horns of the Goddess. One of the best books I've ever read by Dolores Cannon was Horns of the Goddess. There was something about that book that like felt like it was an activation, like this awakening. It was familiar. Like I was remembering something that I forgot.
Right. The Horns of the Goddess, such a good one. I love that. And I think that that's why so many people connect with Dolores's work. She gives people permission to ask bigger questions.
Yeah. And I also want to mention many of you probably know if you've been in the Dolores Cannon world for any amount of time that Sarah Bressman Cosme, Sarah's actually studied under Dolores and is considered one of her proteges. She's continued exploring many of these same themes through QHHT in her own books and research.
I know. We love Sarah, and, God, we wanna get a reading from her, a
Yes,
regression from her. Wouldn't that be a
I would
dream?
love it.
We would love that. Yeah, and I love that because it also shows that Dolores wasn't just writing books, she was planting seeds.
Exactly. Yeah. Sarah explores Atlantis, Lemuria, soul origins, ancient civilizations, and consciousness itself. And whether someone agrees with every conclusion or not, I think it's beautiful that the curiosity didn't end with Dolores, it continued. And someone who works intuitively, myself, I love seeing women in this community carrying these teachings forward in their own unique ways.
Yes, and, oh, Kate, one of my favorite stories about Dolores is actually one of her own regression experiences.
Oh, mine too. And I want to say she wrote a book about it. Dolores said she experienced a past life connected to the Library of Alexandria. She wasn't this famous scholar or priestess. She described herself as someone who helped protect and care for the scrolls and sacred knowledge housed there. When the library was attacked and set on fire, she remembered watching all that knowledge being destroyed and dying there herself. She described it as incredibly traumatic. And honestly, I get chills every time I think about it or I hear about it in her books because whether someone sees it literally or symbolically, look at what she did in this lifetime. Like it gives me chills. She spent decades preserving stories, recording thousands of sessions, writing books, teaching students all around the world. and making sure information wasn't lost. She was bringing it back. It's almost like she came back and she picked up right where she left off.
And what an incredible service to humanity. Like, what a soul she has that
Yeah,
she dedicates her lifetimes to this. I just love that. And Kate, if that's not high priestess energy, I don't know what is.
I don't know what is.
And speaking of hidden knowledge, preserving wisdom, and remembering what exists beyond the surface, let's get comfy into our next segment called Turning the Card, where we explore each and every card one by one of the traditional tarot deck. I cannot think of a more perfect card to follow Dolores Cannon than the High Priestess.
I agree completely. The High Priestess is card number 2 in the Major Arcana. And unlike the magician who takes action and creates, the High Priestess pauses. She listens, she receives, and she trusts.
Right, and when you look at the traditional Rider-Waite image, she's seated between 2 pillars, one black and one white, representing duality, light and shadow, the known and the unknown.
Yeah, and she wears blue robes, often associated with intuition, wisdom, emotion, and spiritual understanding. And at her feet is the crescent moon, symbolizes cycles, mystery, and the subconscious mind.
And behind her hangs a veil decorated with pomegranates. The veil represents hidden knowledge, the unseen world, mysteries that aren't immediately available to us. And the pomegranate symbolizes sacred feminine wisdom, abundance, and life beyond what we can physically see.
Yeah, and she also holds a partially hidden scroll labeled Torah. I love that because it's basically saying not everything is meant to be fully revealed all at once. Some wisdom unfolds gradually, and honestly, that feels very Dolores Cannon.
Right.
And we're going to go into our mindful magic moment. Do you want to add any more, Marie, before we go into mindful magic?
No, I'm so glad we got to honor a little bit about Dolores Cannon this episode.
Me too. And, I feel like I love when you physically have her books, but I love listening to them on audio. Sarah Bressman Cosme, I like to hold her books. And for some reason, I like to listen to, maybe it's because they're so long, but the Dolores Cannon books. So I recommend any of her books are good. Um, so we're going to go into our mindful magic moment. We're going to talk about learning to trust your intuition. I think one of the biggest misconceptions about intuition is that people expect it to arrive like a lightning bolt. I mean, sometimes it does, not all the time. Most of the time it's subtle. It's thinking about someone right before they text. It's suddenly feeling like you should take another route home. It's goosebumps. It's being drawn to a book, a song, a person. It's walking into a room and immediately sensing something feels off. Intuition usually whispers, it's very subtle. The problem is we're often too busy to hear it. So this week, I want you to practice something simple. Just pause several times throughout your day and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? What feels light? What feels heavy? What keeps returning to my awareness? And then trust the little nudges. Text the person, write down your dream, pull a card, take the walk. Intuition develops through relationship. The more you listen, I always say it's like a muscle. The more you flex it, the stronger it gets. And eventually you realize your intuition has been speaking to you all along.
Right. And we can't overemphasize how subtle the nudges can be
Yeah, seriously.
sometimes. Yeah. And we would like to say happy Letha to you guys. It is officially the summer solstice
I love
today.
it. I love
Yeah.
Letha.
So we
Yeah.
wanted to honor that with little um a little easy ritual. So, as we honor Letha and the summer solstice, we're celebrating the longest day of the year and the height of the sun's energy. That doesn't have to be like an elaborate ceremony. In true mindful magic fashion, simple and intentional is often the most powerful. Even just tonight, step outside just before sunset. Take a moment to feel the warmth of the day one last time. Close your eyes and place your hands over your heart and think of 3 things that have grown in your life since the beginning of this year.
Yeah. They don't have to be huge accomplishments. Maybe it's a new friendship, stronger boundaries. That was really big today. A creative project, simply making it through difficult days. And then quietly say, I honor the light within me. I celebrate how far I've come and I welcome the abundance still to come. And then take a deep breath and allow yourself a moment of gratitude before returning indoors. Sometimes the most magical thing we can do is pause long enough to recognize our own growth.
Right. And part of our Kitchen Witch Corner here, we're going to share a simple Letha salt scrub, uh, sun salt scrub, easy to make. And most of us have these ingredients at home. So you'll need, just for a couple times use here, a half a cup of fine sea salt. If you don't have sea salt, table salt works just fine. A quarter cup of coconut oil, a teaspoon of honey, a tablespoon of dried calendula petals, marigold petals, and a zest from half an orange. 3 drops of sweet orange essential oil. That's optional, but it does add something extra. Mix everything together in a small jar until combined and it's ready to use. And as you stir, set an intention for renewal, joy, and abundance. And you can use this scrub gently now on your hands, arms, or feet during a bath or shower. It can also be used as a bath salt if you don't feel like doing a scrub. And as you rinse, imagine you're washing away heaviness and making space for fresh energy. The orange symbolizes the sun. The calendula honors warmth and vitality. Honey invites sweetness into your life, and salt helps cleanse and ground your energy.
I love that, Marie. I can smell it already. And remember, this is not changing who you are, it's just celebrating the beautiful person that you've already become. And happy Light Up Magic Makers. May your light shine brightly, your heart remain open, and your path be illuminated by joy.
Oh, I love that. And speaking of opening our hearts, Kate, would you mind pulling a couple of cards for the collective reading today?
Why, yes, Maria, I pulled six today.
Oh,
And I
nice.
didn't even mean to. So I wanted to go with today's theme of past lives. And in honor of Dolores, I used my past life oracle deck. And I am so excited to share. I did a little picture up and I will share that right when we're done. So the first half is a past life reading for the collective, and then we did some angel messages. So the first card that I pulled from the past life deck, and I'm like, the energy is so high that I'm like sweating, like so red. I pulled Celtic. There's so many different meanings for this card, and the Celtic is basically that you have experienced a past life in Ireland, Scotland, England. You have roots, and if you're listening to this, you're probably very drawn to those places. You love the culture, and I'm seeing also trees having a deep connection to the earth, and there's a lot of awakening of our abilities. And it's so like our abilities of clairvoyance and clairaudience has been really big all week, becoming much louder, much clearer. But I'm also sensing from this card that this has to do with plants and animals as well, feeling more connected to nature than ever, and feeling more triggered by, I don't know about you, but when I see someone cutting trees down, I'm like, why did, if it, especially if it doesn't need to come down, that makes me so upset. That happened. My daughter and I witnessed it, and she was in tears. She's so, oh, you can see the cards here. Great. Thank you, Marie. So Celtic. So that is just what this card means for us as a collective is our talents, our abilities, our wisdom are reawakening from these lifetimes. Um, Now we also have some things that we're releasing, these feelings of missing something. We talked a little bit about this in this episode about feeling like you're going to lose something, not having enough. The orphan card is not just about fear of abandonment because you've experienced great loss, or abandonment in a past lifetime, but we're releasing those feelings of fear. We're not worried about people pleasing. We're more concerned about, you know what, there is enough. Everything is going to be okay. So we're healing that. We're awakening our gifts and our wisdom. We're healing these feelings of missing something. And I don't like that you just, I don't know how to describe it. There's so much behind that card, but a fear of loss, a fear of not having enough. That is healing. And we then have scribe or writer. Many people listening now are writers. And I feel that everyone, and especially Marie and I, we both are writers. I feel that everyone has a book within them. Everyone has something to share. So this is confirmation for you. If you've had an idea, you want to write a book, you want to share something, it doesn't have to be a book, it can be a song, write it. And this is just a big confirmation, but also this is also about how everyone is here to share something. So, with the past life, I decided to pull some angel cards after, and it just confirmed the top part of the reading. So, we have clearing negativity, releasing negativity within and around you. And we also have replacing codependent people pleasing behaviors with assertiveness and empowerment. And I've been getting these, we're doing all that healing, we're doing that releasing, but it's more of a, um, being fed up with living your life for other people through their eyes. We're like done. I'm getting this very fierce, independent, confident energy. And it is very important that you go with that. And you can set boundaries with love. You can ask your angels to help you be assertive and to help you set boundaries and maintain them. Archangel Michael would be wonderful to work with if that resonates, as well as Archangel Haniel. Archangel Haniel will help you develop and trust your abilities as well as speaking. So if you need to speak, and Archangel Gabriel as well, but I'm getting a lot of Archangel Haniel and Archangel Michael vibes for these cards. So this is like a very, very powerful time. You also have Let Yourself Sparkle and Shine. That is what we're ready to do. We're ready to share what we're here to share. Today, my other message on my page was Earth Angel. And many Earth Angels are waking up, or star seeds. We are ready to do what we're here to do. So, if I can take one thing from this reading, it's to let go of relationships that don't serve you. If you notice, like, you're always checking on someone or you're worried if they're okay, well, did they ever ask if you're okay? Are they doing the same? Um, do they reciprocate? So we're letting go of a lot of relationships that don't serve us, and we're like letting go of everything. But relationships are really big today as well. So we're getting ready to just be our authentic selves. And I feel like a lot of us are already there, and we worked really hard to get there. So, yeah, that's what I have for today. Marie, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that that's such a beautiful message, and I love when these readings can just apply to everyone. Kate's giving the intention when she's pulling cards for it to apply to the people who need to hear it, who are listening in. So I just think that's beautiful, Kate. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, Marie. I'm looking at these cards, and it reminds me of a Dolores Cannon regression. She would get people to their past lives, and then she would help them release all these things. The healing is amazing too, but it really helps them let go of everything that's in their way. So I wanted to add that this reading kind of reminds me of one of Dolores' sessions.
Wow, beautifully said. And thank you, Magic Makers, for joining us once again.
Yes. And stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to explore the next card in the Major Arcana, the Empress, which I can't wait for that one. We can't wait to continue this journey with you. And until then, stay curious, stay open, and keep finding the magic in the mundane. Blessed be. Have any questions or topics you would like to hear Marie and I discuss? Please comment below, send us a message, or reach out to us on Instagram. We like to close each episode with a moment of mindfulness. Take a deep breath and think about what you're grateful for today. We're now going to bless everything that you're grateful for and let your higher self and guides know that you are open for even more blessings. We bid you farewell, merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. We hope your day is filled with love, happiness, undeniable signs, and mindful magic. You can find Marie on Instagram at Kitchen Witch Hawaii. You can find me and all my socials at katewhitneyofficial.com. And don't forget to follow Mindful Magic on YouTube at Mindful Magic Channel. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram.